I'm listening to a podcast, Black Lodge Trivia Night. I've never heard so many game aspirations in my life.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Black Lodge Trivia Night. You'll notice that I've been left to my own devices tonight. Usually when that happens, nothing good ever comes of it, and I usually rack up a bunch of credit card debt. Or I'm wanted by several precincts of the Las Vegas Police Department. However, tonight I have been left alone by my two compadres. Matt is currently dealing with a situation at the Antarctic leg and Antarctic base of Black Lodge Trivia Night. And Art is probably drinking tea somewhere and just tears rolling down his cheeks because, well, he has to deal with us. So, hope everybody's doing well tonight, rather. Don't have my usual two jokers to bat back and forth with, so gonna take it a little easy tonight. You're gonna get a Patrick Presents mini episode. Just want to make sure that we had something out there for everybody. And I haven't shown my ugly mug in a hot minute, so here I am. Wonderful to be here with you tonight. But first, some business. So, we're going to go with some Twin Peaks trivia because our good friends are not here tonight, and I was going to surprise them with some Twin Peaks trivia, but they aren't here, so unfortunately that means that I'm giving this to you, the viewers, or fortunately, you probably get it faster than they will. So, let's get into it. Actress Catherine E. Coulson, who played the Log Lady in Twin Peaks, also worked behind the scenes for David Lynch in what role on his 1977 debut feature? Got any hints? Got any thoughts? That's right. If you answered assistant camera on the camera crew for Eraserhead, that is correct. Speaking of Log Lady, what does she insist her log came from? What type of tree? And if you said a Douglas fir, you would be correct. So there's your business that we would attend to usually. And I am more than happy to step in for that in the time being. So hopefully you guys got those. If not, join the club. I never do. So here we are. So what's the topic for tonight? Well, I went through a couple of different ideas on what I could do in kind of a quick mini session here. You know, I was like, could I create a character in Scumburther from Orkborg and just talk through characters, just do something fun live. But what I figured here, being left unsupervised, is I started thinking about some of the ideas for games that I've played in the past, right? And as I went through some of those games, there's some real bad ideas. There's some real stinkers, and that's not an embarrassing thing, right? I think it's good to look back on those really terrible RPG ideas, and see what they could teach you, especially what not to do, right? Yeah, we had some laughs along the way, so yeah, that's what the topic is tonight. It's Patrick Presents the Museum of Bad Ideas. Admission is free and escape is unlikely. So we're going to go through a couple of, I think I've got 4 or 5 written down. Some of the games that I've either started up here with the boys, and just fell flat. You can probably think of them already. Started up myself that fell flat. Or games that started and went strong, but that were just terrible ideas in the long run. So I think the first one that everybody's probably thinking about is one that I was really excited for. Very excited to get it to the table. Talked about it at length on the show, but it was the campaign that was too metal. Was Eat the Reich. I was very excited, still excited to play it. Definitely a game for a convention or in person, or just not turn it into a campaign game and not trying to force it into a square peg round hole as a game for our audience here. Killing Hitler as vampire commandos sounds like a great idea. Not a ton of room for character development, especially in a system where basically every time you do something, you're pretty much guaranteed to murder a whole bunch of stooges. But not something that you can make sustainable long run, right? There's only so many times I can say, okay, well, another squad car rolls up. What do you do to tear these guys apart? And, talking with Matt and Art, Art was running out of ways to come up with creatively saying he rips their throats out. That it's fun in a short burst 2-hour session, not over a bunch of sessions with some kind of character development. Again, I think the artwork is some of the best out there. I really enjoy it. The concept is great. Really enjoy the world building, and it's obviously a very big passion project for the team that designed it. And I'm very excited to run it at some point. It's just, this didn't seem like the medium to run it, right? We usually look for something that's a little bit more, I was going to say that's a little bit meatier, but we really don't. I mean, we run all sorts of random shit all the time. But that one just fell flat, and I will blame Alchemy too. Not to be a curmudgeon or a stick in the mud, but I just couldn't get my brain around it. It was too streamlined. I'm still used to Roll20 and even a little bit of Foundry. But it was too slick for me to try and run consistently. And that's a me thing. That's not a them thing. So that's one. Eat the Reich again. Would absolutely play it elsewhere. Would I play it now? No. And that was a very good lesson. And just, hey Patrick, sometimes games are not going to be a sustainable multi-session campaign game. So good time all around with that. Still had some fun when we played it. Good laughs. And some really good scenes, especially there on the Eastern Front, kind of prologue that we did. But just not sustainable. One of the other things that we started up for this, that's our first selection for the evening. Our second selection for the evening is going to be using ChatGPT to come up with an RPG. Turns out it's not very good at that. At least not to the same kind of standards that you would expect a team to do, or even one or two really rigorous writers. Hell, even the stuff that we can half cook up between a couple of kit bashing, slap it together and put a new logo on it for getting a couple of RPGs and Frankenstein them together. It tries to really make something super simple every time, like 2d6 plus stat simple, which there's nothing wrong with that, but there's also not a lot of consistency. And this was an older model. I'd want to try it again, maybe with Claude or one of the other models, but using chat a year and a half ago to come up with an RPG and try and play it. Black Ice was very interesting world, but it does basically just turn into one big improv session for whoever's running it. And while I did have some pretty, I won't say extensive, but I had at least a couple of pages of notes, which is more than I usually put together. It wasn't enough to make the world feel as built out as any number of books that I have on my shelf over there. And so, I originally, when I was putting it together and I ran it by Art, Matt wanted nothing to really do with it, which I totally get. And it was kind of a back pocket thing for when he wasn't available. But when I was telling Art about it, I was like, okay, well, we're gonna let it, kind of co-GM with me, right? Like I'm gonna put what you do in there and see what it spits out. If it's got any good ideas for stuff that I wouldn't have thought of, or interesting challenges, or cool puzzles or anything. And turns out that's really hard to juggle when you're playing a game, having a good time, having some drinks, trying to use stupid accents for a bunch of different characters while GMing and running fights. And then you're trying to, on the side, have a full-on discussion with over typing with a chatbot. Just was not conducive. So basically just ended up being a free-for-all. Took the skeleton and ran with it. I think we did 2 sessions of that, so we did pretty good. It was fun. Again, interesting world, but would I rather just sit down and play one of the Cyberpunk games on the shelves? Yeah. And I think at the end, Art was happy to have experimented with it. But yeah, and I won't put words into his mouth. I think he enjoyed it, but it definitely left a lot to be desired as far as just interesting things to do. It's not a fully vetted out world. It's not a full thing. I could have spent weeks and weeks and weeks going back and forth with chat to come up with a world like that. But I didn't. I was trying to come up with something quick. And it didn't work out. So let that be a lesson to you. Do the homework. Actually sit down and come up with something. Even something simple like, the games that we have played, like Honey Heist or The Score or anything like that. It really does, even 20 minutes before the game, sit down, throw some index cards out, say, okay, this is where, or scratch piece of paper, this is where I want to go. Scene 1, scene 2, scene 3. Let's go. Right? 1 or 2 NPCs that are interesting. Why are we doing this? And 1 or 2 interesting things to throw at them. And you've got a game pretty much most of the time. But trying to just go in cold turkey, which I have done a couple of times. Just no go. No dice on that. No pun intended. Another fun one to go through, and we beat this dead horse a lot, so I will not hit on this one super long. But modern Call of Cthulhu. Let me take a little sippy sip. Modern Call of Cthulhu was very difficult because cosmic horror is really hard when you have Reddit subthreads available on your character's smartphone, or you have GPS, or you have Google, or you have just TV stations with news on them. Very, very difficult to create a sense of like impending doom and dread and that unavoidable consequence, and just a universe that doesn't give a shit, that you kind of come to expect from a Cthulhu adjacent or Cthulhu inspired game. Now, I do think there are ways that you could do a modern or science fiction or cyberpunk horror game. And I was teasing the boys a little bit. I actually have some creative juices flowing for the first time. God knows how long. And I want to be the one who's running a game at spooky season this year. So, not quite Deadlands. I know I'm going to get some tomatoes thrown at me, although that is still in the works very, very, very slowly. It is going to be a great time when we have that, and I am going to use all of the accents, and, well, all of them being Kurt Russell and Val Kilmer, but, c'est la vie. But this one I think is going to be really good. You have to lean into stuff that isn't, like, spooky stuff, right? When you do horror, you've got to go kind of more different directions with it, right? And I've been really into like gothic horror books right now, so I'm not going to do a full-on haunted house. In fact, I'm not going to do a haunted house at all, but there are ways to make modern horror interesting. I'm really excited for everybody to see that. I'm really excited to run this story. I haven't picked up what system I want to run it in yet. And I'm not going to give any more hints than that, but it is going to be a pretty sweet story if I can pull it off right. And it's me, so there's no guarantee at all that happens, but we'll see. Should be fun. Very excited, but yeah, Call of Cthulhu in a modern setting, though, just to get back on topic. I was so excited for Scratch. I'd had that one in my back pocket to run for any group of people for years. And it really just boiled down to, well, why the fuck wouldn't we just leave town when this happened? Like, do you have to suspend your disbelief a little bit and suspend your common sense? Yes, but in a modern world where you're reality TV stars and like everything going against you, there's just no reason for any of the characters to stick around, right? Like not even out of curiosity. Like as soon as weird shit started happening, everybody be the fuck out of there. So that's Call of Cthulhu. Again, I won't beat modern Cthulhu up that much. I I would love to get back to some kind of Cthulhu setting. Don't think it'll be modern, and I don't think that I'll be the one running it. Let somebody else fall on that sword for a while. But speaking of swords, so we razz on D&D a lot. And, it deserves it sometimes, and a lot of the time we're just being hipsters. Most of the time. But I have the most experience myself running D&D campaigns as a GM. And one of my best worst memories was I took a group in college of 9 friends. Yes, 9. That's not 6. That's 3 plus 3 plus 3, 9 people who had never played RPGs before. And I crammed them into our tiny apartment. And I spent the better part of 6 hours or 8 hours going through with each and every one of them, creating characters for level 1 characters, never for people who've never played RPGs before. And I said, okay, guys, we're going to play Into the Abyss. And for those of you who don't know, Into the Abyss is, God, I don't know how many remakes of it is, but it's a all 100% in the Underdark campaign, where all of the demons and devils, I think it's demons, are starting to break out. And it's a big open sandbox in the Underdark where crazy shit's happening. You're fighting big monsters in the dark. It's scary. It's interesting characters. I really like the setting. I really like the story. I like that it's a bunch of kind of mini adventures packed in there for whatever flavor of adventure you want to go on to. But it's not very beginner friendly, just because that much stuff is happening. And there were 9 of them. So trying to explain to 9 different people how 9 different character classes worked. I think they were running 9. I think we had a couple of double dips, but nothing crazy. But nine people new to RPGs, playing characters for the first time, playing classes for the first time, having done nothing like this before, in an environment that is actively trying to kill them from the second their characters wake up chained in prison. Just complete disaster. I think we played like 4 sessions. We had a good time. Lots of laughs, but with 9 players, it's really hard to get to everybody. And I did a lot of hand waving for combat just to be like, nope, yep, you guys killed 14 Koatoa. Like, congratulations. Because otherwise it would have taken, at least 4 to 6 business days to get through combat. And yeah, so. And I think back to that group, and we had some people who definitely fell out of being interested in RPGs very quickly. Some people who were not super into it during it, and found some very convenient ways to exit stage left. And a couple of people that stole the show, right? Like, there were a couple of people that just wanted to do something every turn and do something. They were the first ones to jump on stuff. I had a couple of people that wanted to just sit back and do nothing. A couple of people who were just excited to be there and were happy that I had a case of Natty Lights, right? Like, it was a wonderful time. College is a great time to explore all sorts of things, and that was a time. That was an experience. So that's that's some of my interesting failures, but you learn something from each of them, right? I could go on and on and on, but I didn't want to make too much of an episode out of this. I just wanted to have some wonderful self-deprecating humor tonight. Go through some just absolute crash course of terrible games that I've run. Do a little tease for some Halloween stuff there, and yeah, I think we're gonna have a good time. Failure. It's not. It's not the opposite of creativity, right? It's the receipt. It's you found something. You've been creative. You've had fun with your buddies and your friends, and that's really all that matters in the end, right? It's. I often say, and my wife can't stand it, but don't let perfect get in the way of good enough. Like, you know what? If you're rolling math rocks and having a good time, you've and not thinking about life for an hour or two, then you've job done. So I do think that we're back to regularly scheduled nonsense next week. I think we're back to our lovely Pathfinder adventure. I know Matt was super bummed we couldn't get back into it today. So we'll be running that, or Matt will be continuing to run that. I've got East Texas University on the way that I will tentatively, I might actually pull out some adventures for that and run some community games. The whole being a dad kids thing, they're starting to sleep through the night a little bit better. Things are starting to calm down. So hopefully get a little bit more open schedule to do some community games and play in some community games. That'll be good. I've got some always want to do some Morkborg of some kind. It's just hey, let's all sit down and play and have our characters die. And I think I'm probably the next one up to DM after Matt runs us through some Pathfinder, which I suspect will take another couple of months to get through. Maybe a month or two. I'm not sure. I won't put words in his mouth. I don't ever want it to end because it's just so good. And I have absolutely been hounding Art to get back to our British spy game because Jago needs to get back out there in the universe. I do miss dear Jago. So that being said, hope everybody's enjoyed this very brief little episode here of Patrick Presents a museum of RPG failures. And yeah, I think the Museum of Failed Ideas, we might have some more Patrick Presents here over the next couple of months if stuff does stay randomly busy. I was trying to come up with some other topics, and I got a little back pocket full of them. So again, that's kind of what I've got tonight. Take a moment, join our Discord. If you found this video, you know where to find us on YouTube. If you are listening to us on your ear holes, I hope you make your way over to the YouTube. And if vice versa, if you're on YouTube, find your way over to the direct beam into the brain with some podcast. We are loud and obnoxious on the Discord, and I think there's some games starting to come together. But yeah, as always, I got to do the thing, like, subscribe, whatnot. And Art's Patreon for Feet Picks will be out there soon. We're also exploring options for shipping out gamer water. I don't know what that means, but he was really excited about it. So, yeah, I think that's actually what he's drinking in his iced tea. But what do I know? So, as always, everybody, have a great night. Thanks for watching. And I am Black Lodge Trivia Night. Good night.